everyone. Good day. How are you guys doing today? Yes, I just like to encourage people, to uplift people, to educate people, particularly the youths, with a focus on the young girls. My name is Yvonne Modi. I am speaking and driving. I am taking my car to the garage, and my son is going to bring me home so they can repair it, and then we'll pick it up again tomorrow. So I thought I should leave you a little bit of message here to find out how you guys are doing today, and to see if you did take an action today on your goals and your dreams, no matter how small they are. The purpose is to be determined. When you have made that decision, when you take that decision, you become determined, you become persistent, and you action it, no matter how little you put those goals and dreams into action, because they are the little wins that accumulate into big wins. So I am going to quote Maya Angelou. I really love that lady because I've been reading about her for years. She says, a woman in harmony with her spirit is like a river flowing. She goes where she will and arrived at her destination, prepared to be herself and only herself. That means that what? As a woman, we have tremendous power. We have a kind of power inside of us that we don't even know that we have, unless we begin to explore those powers and put them into action. As founder of One Global Movement, my mission and vision and ethical standards is to help others, families, youths, with a focus on the young girl, with education, inspiration, direction, and a protective alarm, so that they can be bold to speak up and speak out and use the resources at their disposal to build generational wealth while living a life of leadership and purpose. And why? Why the youth? And why so much focus on the young girl? You know, I was in a place where no child should ever be made to visit, and I was only 11 years old. I was forced into a situation by a biological father, and my grandmother stood up for me and trained me and loved me and nurtured me to choose an education over marriage at 11 years old. And so education became my gateway to freedom and success. And I've been studying ever since I was little, because I wanted to just be like the educated, speak like the educated, walk like the educated, talk like the educated. And I wanted an education so bad. And my mother, who was also given away in marriage at the age of 15, by 17, she had me. And she wasn't educated. And, you know, because of other people's making, she was not successful in her marriage. She went through a lot of difficulties in the hands of the person who fathered me. And so my grandmother, who was also given away in marriage at the age of 9, she lived a very, very happy and successful life with her husband. And she was determined. She knew she had this kind of wisdom. She knew how to read in a language called Mongaka, which is one of the languages in Cameroon. But she didn't know how to read in English, but she knew Mongaka. So my grandmother grandmother was my number one mentor in life. She mentored me, she nurtured me, she did whatever it took her to do. She did it all for me, just so I have an education, so I can come back and help my mother, my siblings, the village, because she and my mother, with some good parents of the village, came together to educate me, because I was the kind that picked pieces of papers and broken pencils and pens, trying to read and write and do whatever it takes. And at a certain point, I became the courier of the village. I would write letters to parents of the village, walk to the post office bare feet, and the post office was about 40 minutes away. I would walk back and forth, and it was nothing to me. I was happy doing it. And so my hunger for education brought me to where I am today. From a one-time TV show from the only TV owner in the village, who was using a generator because we didn't have electricity, I went and watched that TV show from the bush, because the children that were coming back from school, when I was wandering around during the day, just wandering around, plucking fruits from the trees to eat, like guavas and other things, and cracking palm kernels to eat. When I hear the kids returning from school, I will stealthily walk towards the road, and I will beckon on them to come with me to my own home in the bush. And they came, they were teaching me, they were doing things with me, and those kids understood what I was going through. They were very sympathetic and empathetic and were willing to teach me, and they were doing that. And after some time, some of them just began to come to that bush by themselves to teach me. That's how I started learning. And by the grace of God, one day I asked my mother, I said, "Mother, how come I cannot go to school like the other children?" My mother said, "Your father will kill us." And I said, no, I insisted. I said I would do whatever it takes for me to acquire an education. And I did. I became an adult even before I became one. I was doing large-scale farming, doing all sorts of marketing to raise that money to go to school. And so I went to school. My mother enrolled me in secondary school. And after secondary school, I still wanted more education. I wanted high school education. She and my grandmother and other parents of the village, they came together to do that again for me. After high school, I still have that hunger within me for university education. And they came together. Despite the threats and abuse from my father, my mother was bent on educating me. And I went to university. I became the very first female child in more than 10 years in a little village in Cameroon called Wumute. I became the first female child in more than 10 years with a bachelor's degree. And that was a big deal. It's still a big deal to me. It is a big deal in that village. It is a big deal for the children in that village who today look up to me. They write to me, they call, they do whatever it takes. And I've been trying to help these children, and it's not enough. But now, by the grace of Almighty God, I have been ushered into a company founded by Mr. Ashmufari, a visionary who wants to uplift humanity from his heart. And I am one of the 1.4 million founders of this company called Unpassive. And I am just sometimes just cry out of joy. And I thought, this is exactly what my grandmother predicted. And she is watching over me from heaven. My grandmother said, the way God has made you, you are such a determined child. You want education. You want everything in life. You want to take care of people. When I die, do not live in this village because of the customs and traditions, especially because of your father. family. Don't live in this village. Go far away from here. At the age of 12, my grandmother performed what is still called, it was called a traditional mantle, or a mantle, which is a great responsibility given to a child that was dictated at the age of 2, very young, that would take that mantle to the wall, to the family, to the village, and also to also look and see who the next person to carry that mantle will be, which I have already chosen to, because they have to possess certain criteria from a very young age. And so I was chosen at the age of 2. My grandmother told me that. And so I became the mantle. I was initiated, and a lot, it's a process. But it is something that when I talk about it, my hair will stand on end. But it is for my own good, the good of my family, the good of children of the world. My grandmother did that. She asked me 2 weeks before time in preparation to write all my goals and my dreams, whatever is it that God has put in my heart to do. I wrote it 2 copies. She said, one will be buried together with the traditional mantle in a plastic bag, and the other one will be buried at one corner of her home. But I should put everything in my head, because all the time when I write everything, they will take it, beat me up, and destroy it. They destroy it. Oh my God, my son is calling. I'm just gonna hang up the phone here. They destroy it, and then I will start all over. So she did that. But now that she's no more, her home, it's broken, but I still have those goals and dreams in my head. And now, as a founder of One Global Movement, my mission is to take what I have within me and what my grandmother blessed me with to children of the world, with a focus on the young girl, because that is a story that I lived. I went through a lot, and I also saw other girls that went through a lot. They did not make it in life, and I made it. And it is my responsibility to take this to the world. And so that is what I am doing, and I'm focusing on it. And the show goes on every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I also carry out interviews, and to see how I can begin to help. I was helping before, but it's not enough. And I am really tightening my belt, especially with Unpassive. I know that we're going to do more to the world, because the problems affecting our children, youths, and the woman, it's global. I thought it was only in Cameroon, but it's global. But it comes in various stages, magnitudes, and colors. But it is there. And so it is my responsibility to educate, encourage, empower youths with a focus on the female child and families, because a lot of times what our parents teach us, they are teaching us from the point of what they know best how to. It's not even their fault a lot of times, but because we now know, with the advancement in technology, especially with the AI intelligence, with the high quality products that Unpassive is building for us, it is just such an opportunity to take it to the world and also help others, because if a good meal is saved me, I just think that it's my responsibility to share that good meal with another person. When I have this spark, this light in me that people have instilled in me, it is also my responsibility to take that spark and light to the world, because it is. What else is there? If you have been given so much, what else is there? Yes, the one that has been given so much, a lot is also required of her or him. That is how we're supposed to live our lives, because otherwise we will carry these values, these gifts, these blessings to our graves and bury them in the cemetery without sharing them with the world. So that is my story, and I am sticking to it, and by the grace of God, it is going to happen. So every day I wake up, I look with wonder at the abundance and opportunities that God has lined up for me to be able to help myself, my family, my children, and others around the world. So you will get it. You'll be hearing from me a lot. Let us come together in one global movement to carry all our good messages to the world and meet these children and families at the point where they are, because there are people out there waiting for our voices. They are waiting for our prints to write books so they can read and help themselves. They are waiting even for our clothes to wear. They are waiting for financial help. They are waiting for food in particular to eat. They are hungry. They are waiting for everything. And we who have been given a lot, especially by our CEO, Mr. Ashby Farrell, a lot is required of us. I just want to thank you so much, and I will leave you with this. Stay focused, stay encouraged, stay empowered, and always believe in endless possibilities. I love you all.